This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jim Schaller.
Welcome, good neighbors, to episode number 48 of the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. Today we have good neighbor Stefani Coup from Coup Electric joining us. Stephanie, welcome.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to get to know people in the neighborhood here, and I'm excited a little bit to learn a little bit more about Coup Electric this morning. So why don't we just, no pun intended, but turn the power on, jump right in, and share a little bit about what you do at Coup Electric.
All right. Well, at Coup Electric, we focus on residential electric. So think of anything that would go on in your house that you might need an electrician for. That's what we do. Smoke detectors to outlets. We install lighting. We do panel changes. We troubleshoot why you might be having electrical issues. Kind of the whole shebang is what we do.
A little bit of everything. There we go. So let's back up a little bit and help our listeners understand, how did you get involved in the electric industry?
Good question. So back in 1999, my husband and I found out that we were pregnant, and a little bit sooner than what we had anticipated. And my husband was actually in EMT class, so he was kind of wanting to be a fireman. He was in the U.S. Navy, and so that just kind of was what he wanted to do when he got out. But things had to change because that was kind of a long journey, and we needed to make changes right away. So he joined a local plumbing company, and because he did plumbing in the Navy, and he was there, and he thought, well, this isn't really satisfying my soul. What are those guys doing over there? And they said, oh, those are the electricians. He said, well, I want to do that. That looks better. So that's where it all began.
Wow. And now it's evolved into your own business. How did you get involved in your own business?
So we moved to Southwest Florida in 2006 and quickly realized that Florida did not have a good name for the trades. So we decided that Florida needed a better tradesman. So we started Coup Electric and decided that we were going to give people the best quality electrical service around, because Florida deserves that.
That is great. Now, how did you pick Estero or Bonita, this area? Fort Myers, I think, is where you're located, right?
Yes, we are in Fort Myers. So I grew up coming to Ocala, Florida, because my grandparents lived there. So I was used to coming down to Florida. My husband was born and raised in Ohio, and, didn't leave a whole lot. He was in the Navy, but, they're on a ship. So we had friends that actually moved to Fort Myers a couple of years before, and we would come down and visit, and decided, we're sick of the dreary Ohio weather. Let's go where the sun is. And my husband applied for several jobs. He got every single job he applied for down here.
Wow.
We thought, okay, it's not going to be hard to get a job. So we loaded up a U-Haul truck with 3 kids, a dog, our whole entire house, and came on down.
And now you're here, and we love it. It's beautiful down here, isn't it?
I love it. I love Florida so much.
I know, right? So much better than dreary and cold, especially this time of year.
Yeah, and snow.
Yeah, it's pretty on TV, but that's about it, right? We've all been through some type of, I want to say, challenge along our journey. Has there been something that's maybe stuck out that's kind of putting you in a position now where you look back and you're like, I'm better because of it?
Oh, sure. Gosh, there's been a lot of struggles along the way. Just being a business owner in itself there's a lot of things that go on that you don't even think about until you're in that position. So I would say our biggest struggle is just really learning the business side of things. My husband says, I'm an electrician. I wasn't a businessman, So we've kind of grown and evolved because of that, and learned a lot of lessons along the way.
Yeah.
Good, bad, but they taught us something to be better. And, we've also had some personal stuff go on. I suffered from endometriosis, which is a very painful disease, and it caused a lot of, stress and things with time off and everything. But, you grow from those things and it makes you stronger, and we work together very well. So
That's great. That's important. That's
yeah,
important.
yeah.
Absolutely. Uh, so are there, I guess I want to get into, are there any myths or maybe misconceptions that we could maybe bust for our listeners surrounding the electrical industry?
Yeah. So most of the time, especially in Florida, people don't trust us, right? They think trade, they automatically assume, oh, it's going to be some scummy person show up, that's going to try and sell them a whole bunch of stuff that they don't need. And so we kind of have to let people know and show them how we are different. And sometimes, it takes a bit because they're not trusting of other people, of tradesmen, because a lot of them have been burned by people, unfortunately. And especially since Hurricane Ian, I mean, that just opened up a whole can of worms in itself. So we do try to set ourselves apart and let people know that we are different. We're not the cheapest electrical contractor around, but is that really what you want? At the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And that's what we let our customers know, that no matter what, we are going to take care of your problem. Period.
And that's important. Like you had mentioned during Ian, there were a lot of people that just showed up from out of town, out of state, and just came, and they were just trying to grab as much money as they could. They didn't care about service or anything working. They just wanted money. So it's good to have people that have customer service in the back of their mind and actually follow through with it. So are there, outside of work, I know you probably don't have a lot of time being a business owner, but what do you enjoy doing?
The beach,
The
traveling.
beach. See, right? Who doesn't, right? That's why we live here. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite beach down here?
We go to all the beaches, Fort Myers, Bonita, Naples. We're always changing it up. Sometimes we go down to the Keys, Marco Island. We go to the other coast a lot. So we enjoy traveling, and we love the beach and the ocean. So
Yeah, and that's
that's
the
what
nice
I
thing about Florida. You can go all over Florida and experience different types of beaches. So it's beautiful for
yeah.
sure. So is there anything else about Coup Electric that maybe our listeners should know about that they don't know?
I would say yes. Just if you are having an electrical problem, give us a call. Let us come out and show you how we're different, because we are very customer service oriented, and we understand that your home is your castle, and whatever we do there, we should be adding value to it. We should be bringing quality to your home, not taking it away. I actually had a call from a customer this morning that we did a portion of her service, and she had it wired inside by someone else. And she was having so many problems with the inside wiring, and he would never respond to her. So we had to go in and tell her, I'm sorry, he didn't even hook things up. And
Oh
he
boy.
hooked them up backwards, what he did do. So, we are different because we do things the right way.
And attention to detail. That's important. So how
Yeah.
can our listeners get a hold of you if they have an issue or have a problem that they need help with?
Absolutely. They can call our office, 239-228-6581. They can find us online at www.coupelectric.com, and that's COUP electric.com. You can find us on Facebook and Nextdoor, as we are a Nextdoor favorite, and we were voted Best of Florida for 2 years in a row. So
That is great. It is wonderful having you as a good neighbor out here, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Stephanie, thank you again.
thank you, Jim, for doing this. I love this podcast. I love the whole idea about it. Florida deserves better.
I agree. I agree. And we're glad people like you are here.
Yes, thank
Have
you.
have a great day.
Thanks, Jim. You as well.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpestero.com. That's gnpestero.com or call 239-296-2621.